some really valuable information about your membership. I'm going to go over the mission and history of Local First Arizona, what we are doing today to benefit independent businesses throughout the state. And then I'm going to go over directly your membership benefits so that you fully understand what being a member of Local First Arizona is all about and what you need to do to fully optimize your membership and everything like that. So before I jump into everything, just so that you know who you're listening to and who I am, that's me right there on the left. I am the membership coordinator at Local First Arizona. I've been with Local First for almost a year now. Before coming over to Local First, I worked for the Phoenix Zoo for about 3.5 years. I oversaw their membership database and worked in their sales department. Up in the top right-hand corner there, that's me and my fiance with one of our rescue dogs that we have. We actually have 5 of them, and no, we are not crazy. And then in the bottom left-hand corner, or bottom right-hand corner, that's a billboard you may or may not have seen in the Phoenix area. I actually took that photo for the Phoenix Zoo's marketing campaign a year or so ago. I consider myself an amateur photographer. So that's just a little bit about me. Less about me and more about Local First Arizona. Local First Arizona, it was founded by Kimber Lanning about 10 years ago in 2003. And she's also a small business owner herself. She owns a record store in Phoenix on Central and Camelback called Stinkweeds, and she's owned it since 1987. She's celebrating 27 years. I think she just passed 27 years that store being open in May. And in addition to owning Stinkweeds, the record store, she also owns the Modified Arts Gallery in downtown Phoenix on Roosevelt Row. Now, those of you who are familiar with the Roosevelt Row downtown, you go there today, and you'll notice that there's lots of coffee shops and restaurants and retail shops and art galleries and things like that. When Kimber opened the Modified Arts back in the late 90s, it was very, very different. The only 2 other stores that were on that street was a hubcap shop and a liquor store. So as you can imagine, a lot has happened since that time, and it didn't happen by accident. After Kimber opened up the Modified, slowly but surely other stores started opening up, another art gallery, a coffee shop, restaurant, and all of these businesses started supporting each other and growing together, and they revamped and redeveloped that entire neighborhood and that entire community. They decreased crime on Roosevelt Road in that whole neighborhood by 62%. You get off the light rail on Central and Roosevelt, and there is now a sign called Arts District. Roosevelt Row was just ranked by USA Today as one of the top 10 art neighborhoods in the United States of America. Now, I'm not telling you all of that to tell you how great Kimber is. I'm telling you all of that to let you know a story about what small businesses can do when they link arms and work together. Small businesses and local businesses have the power to transform communities and to really affect our economy. A lot of people, when they think of local businesses, they think of a mom and pop store that doesn't have an impact on the economy, and that is very, very, very untrue. And that's what Local First is all about, getting people to realize how important local businesses are and the huge impact that they have on our economy. So in addition to owning these 2 things in 2003, Kimber started Local First Arizona, and she started it for 2 major reasons. So she was working in Stinkweeds, and she had the Modified Arts Gallery, and lots of people were coming in and out that she knew growing up in Arizona. And these were people that she grew up with that left Arizona and were coming into her stores and telling her how great all these other places that they moved away to were. Places like LA and New York and Chicago and all these other cities. And it was actually kind of making her mad. She was thinking, why were all these smart, bright young people who gained all of their skills in Arizona leaving Arizona to go somewhere else? And she figured out it's because they don't feel connected to Arizona. They don't have any connection here, and so they have no reason to stay here. So the first major reason she started Local First Arizona was to get people connected to place so that we would stop losing all the bright young people that were leaving Arizona. Now, an example of what she did is she thought of one place in the United States that people are very, very, very proud of being from, and that place is Chicago. We all know somebody that's from Chicago, and we all know that that person from Chicago will not stop talking about Chicago. So she started asking these people, why is it that you feel so connected to Chicago? And in a million ways, a million voices, all these people told her it's because of the locally owned businesses that are there. It may have been that they've gone to the same barber for 20 years. They've gone to the same restaurant since they were a kid, and they're best friends with the owner. It may have been that they banked at the same bank that their grandfather banked at. But one way or the other, people feel connected to Chicago because they're connected through the locally owned businesses that are there. So why don't people feel about Arizona and Phoenix and all the cities that are here the same way that people feel about Chicago? Why do we have a lower than average voter turnout? Why do we have lower than average volunteers? And why can't we put butts in seats at Diamondbacks games? The Cubs haven't won a World Series in 100 years, yet we won one 14 years ago, and we have less people at our games, and they can sell out every single game, even though I think we're in the same standings as the Cubs right now this year. So what is it that's going on in Arizona that people don't feel connected to place? So she figured out that people that move here or live here aren't adopting the same principles that people from places like Chicago are. They're not rooting themselves in their communities through their local businesses. So that's pretty much what Local First Arizona is all about, getting people more connected to place through the locally owned businesses that are here. Now, the second reason she started Local First Arizona was to level the playing field for all businesses that are operating in Arizona. As small business owners and local business owners yourselves, you realize that there's lots of rules and regulations that you have to adhere to that national companies may or may not have to, and there's things like tax subsidies that larger companies will get for coming to Arizona that local businesses do not ever get. An example of something that happened in Glendale was when Cabela's was given a tax subsidy to come here. I'm sure everybody's familiar with Cabela's. It's a very large store. A lot of people think that Cabela's is in the industry of hunting and fishing and outdoor gear. We like to think that Cabela's is actually in the industry of tax subsidies. Each Cabela's that opens is granted an average tax subsidy of $32 million. The Cabela's that opened up in Glendale received a tax subsidy of $68 million. That included free land, free infrastructure, and not paying any sales tax for 10 years. That means you can take your money, go into their store, buy something, pay your sales tax, and they get to keep it. That is not economic development. That's not what we need to grow our economy. We can even think about all the locally owned stores that were closed because Cabela's came in. We know that for every 2 retail jobs that are created through a national big box chain, 3 local jobs are taken away. So this model of attracting a business to come to a place is not the model that we want to follow all the time. We want to put our money and convince our economic development teams and our leaders that we should be putting more money and resources into the locally owned businesses that are already headquartered here, rather than putting our money into and paying for larger companies to come here. Glendale came close to closing one of their libraries because of what happened with Cabela's in Glendale there. So those are the 2 major reasons that Local First Arizona started. And I'm going to be spitting out a lot of information and a lot of details and a lot of facts and things like that throughout this webinar. But if there's one fact you take away from this that you educate your consumers and other business owners about, it's this one fact right here that we talk about all the time. And that's for every $100 that is spent at a local business, $45 will stay and recirculate right here in Arizona. For the same $100 spent at a national chain, only $13 remains here. Almost 4 times more of your money will stay and recirculate in Arizona when you spend it at a local business. This is very, very, very important for people to understand, and it's easy to understand. And that's part of what we're doing as an organization, getting consumers and business owners to realize how big of an impact you have in choosing to spend money at a local business over a national company. So what do I mean by staying and recirculate in the economy? I will give you an example. Very quickly, I'm going to compare 15 Starbucks locations with 15 local coffee shops. Now, we're going to compare and contrast these very quickly. The 15 Starbucks companies and 15 local coffee shops, they both pay taxes. That's absolutely true. Another thing they also do is that they both create jobs. We're not going to lie and say that Starbucks did not create jobs. Starbucks even gives benefits to their employees, something that not most national companies do. But let's take a step back and think about how many local tax accountants Starbucks employs right here in Arizona. There aren't any. Let's think about all the printing companies and the graphic designers and the web developers and the law firms. All of these secondary jobs are only produced through the locally owned coffee shops that are here, and none of them through the Starbucks locations. And we're talking about 15 accountants and 15 printing companies and 15 web developers and 15 graphic designers, on and on and on and on. You're never going to hear about these second-tier jobs in the newspaper, but they make the world go round, and they are only produced through the locally owned businesses that are here. We can even take another step back and look at the entire country and think about 30,000 Starbucks locations with one web developer and one graphic designer and one law firm. And then we can think about the 30,000 web developers and 30,000 graphic designers and all these second-tier jobs that are produced through the locally owned businesses throughout the United States. So this is why local businesses are so important. The second-tier jobs are only produced through you, and that's why you're so important to our economy. So where's Local First Arizona at today? We are 2,500 locally owned businesses strong of all different shapes and sizes. When we talk about locally owned businesses, we're not just talking about self-employed mom and pop companies, although those definitely qualify and those are definitely very important. We can even talk about larger local companies like Harkins Theaters and Shamrock Farms and things like this. To be a local company, you don't have to be small. We are the largest local business coalition in North America. The next one beneath us is actually, I believe, in Philadelphia. They have about 700 members. So we are very, very strong, and we are the leading model for local business coalitions. We have an online directory that is searched more than 42,000 times per month. Those aren't hits to our website. Those are people going onto our website and searching for local businesses. We have an active Buy Local campaign, getting consumers to think about buying local. We have both a 501c6 and a 501c3 nonprofit. Our C6 is focused on business development, getting businesses that are local to do business with one another so that we can develop growth right here in Arizona. And our C3 is focused on rural development, focusing on the rural communities on the outer parts of Arizona, tourism, and things like that, because Arizonans alone spend $6.5 billion vacationing in California every year. If we could just shift some of that money to the rural communities and get people to vacation here a little bit, we would have a huge economic impact on Arizona. We're an advocacy group that is working on long-term economic development and economic sustainability. I say the word sustainability and a lot of people think green or eco-friendly. That's not exactly what we're talking about. We mean what's going to be best for our economy in the long run. We're not looking for short-term answers. We're not looking for short-term solutions. We need to be putting more money into the retention and the expansion of the businesses that are already headquartered here, rather than attracting larger companies like the Cabela's model I just showed you to come here to Arizona. We're focused on business-to-business interaction and growing deep wealth in our region, exactly what I just said, growing from within rather than pulling from without. We have a very strong social media presence, and that number is actually a little low right now. We have a little over 60,000 social media followers. So we have lots of people online looking at what we're saying. We're constantly asked our opinion on things, dealing with small businesses and local businesses, and we just have a very large spotlight on us at all times. We also have a Spanish preferred initiative called Fuerza Local. It is about 2 years old, has about 70 members, and it is the only Spanish preferred initiative of its kind. So this is just a quick glimpse of where we are today and what we're doing. I know I've given you a lot of information, but I wanted you guys to understand more about our organization if you were unfamiliar with us before. And if you have any questions about any of these things, or you want to learn more about what we're doing and get more involved, feel free to reach out to us. We're happy to get you more involved in our actual groundwork that we're doing. So a lot of people hear Local First Arizona and they think, oh, you guys are just retail shops, you guys are just restaurants. Although all those things are great and very, very important, that's actually not even our leading category of types of businesses that are members of our organization. Our leading category is business services. I know these are kind of hard to see, but business services are things like the printing companies and the SEO companies and the graphic designers and things that businesses deal with on a day-to-day schedule that a lot of people don't even consider as a local business. Then after that, we go food and dining and shopping and retail as our leading categories. We have lots of agriculture, communications and media, health and medicine, events, occasions, education, recreation and sports. Anything that's out there that is a business, there's a local business for it. And part of our job is getting people to realize that you have more choices than the chains when you're spending your money. So this is really, really an important part of what we do, is getting consumers to realize how many choices they have, and we do that through our online business directory. So this is exactly where you come in. And now I'm going to shift gears and go straight into your membership benefits now that I'm talking about the directory. The first thing that you get in being a part of Local First Arizona, if you haven't done it yet, is set up your directory listing. Like I said before, we have about 42,000 searches per month, people going to our directory, typing something into that keyword search bar, and finding local businesses. These aren't just consumers. These are local business owners alike. We have tons of members that search our business directory on a constant basis, looking for other businesses that are local to do business with. What you need to do is complete your profile so that your search engine optimization in search engines like Google can be increased. What this means is that you need to enter all of your keywords and things like that on your profile, because that will increase you popping up in search engines like Google. So this is very, very important. I'm going to go over the things you need to do right now. Just very quickly, I'm showing you the difference of a search right now between a business that does not have a logo and a business that does have a logo. I can guarantee you that if you have not sent your logo to me yet and it has not been uploaded, you're less likely to be found than if you have. The logos make your directory listing much more visually acceptable, and people are more likely to click on your listing if you have it there. The other things you want to make sure that are up to date is your website, your physical address, your phone number, your tagline on your business, your description, all of your keywords. For those of you who don't know what keywords are things that people would type into the search bar to find your business. So if I'm a bicycle shop in Tempe, I want to enter Tempe. I want to enter bicycle, bicycles, bikes, bike, Schwinn, everything that would have to do with a bike that people might type into the search bar to find my business. You want to make sure that you can be found. Like I mentioned before, you want to make sure you have your logo uploaded. Your categories actually have to be added on our end. I actually do that for you. So if you look at your listing and there's more categories that you want, or you want some taken off that don't necessarily fit with your company, just send me an email and then I can take care of that for you. Also, I forgot to mention your logo. You will email that to me to get uploaded as well. And I'll have my email at the end of this presentation for you to write down. You also have the option of adding a special as a Local First Arizona member. You don't have to do this, but this is a good way to track who is finding you on our website. So say you give 5% off or 10% off for all the people that find you on our website. You know that when people go to your online store or come into your store and mention Local First Arizona, that people are finding you on our website and that you're getting some hits there. It's also important to understand that a lot of people, about 60% of our traffic is coming straight through our homepage, and then about 40% of our traffic is coming directly to your profile listing through search engines like Google. So if people are searching for a local auto shop in Tempe and they're finding you on Google, they're going straight to your profile. So if all of this isn't complete and you don't have the correct information on there, people are going to have a hard time reaching out to your company. The next benefit that you're getting in being a part of Local First Arizona is our monthly educational and networking opportunities that we have all over the state each month. We have a seminar and webinar held each month for a low fee of $8, and they're only open to Local First Arizona members. We cover topics such as internet marketing and special events, leveraging your localness as a business, and other topics that are requested by our members. And we get local professionals that are members of our organization to cover these topics and help with business development for our members. If you have an idea for a webinar or a seminar that you would like to hear about to help grow your business, or if you're a professional in a certain subject and you would be willing to give a seminar or webinar, please email us and let us know, and we'll try and work it in. We try to fit things with what people are requesting and the requests we've been given for people to host these seminars and webinars. The webinars happen every other month. The seminars are in person in Phoenix and Tucson every other month as well. They just switch off and on. We also have networking mixers all over Arizona that are no cost to you. Our evening mixers in Phoenix usually see about 50 to 60 businesses. I would say that's actually the same for Tucson and northern Arizona. Even our Forza Local mixers have usually about 50 people there. These are a great opportunity for you to get out there and get your business name out there among other local business owners. I would say our businesses that see the biggest return on their membership frequent these mixers as often as they can and get to know other local business owners, create relationships with our members, and create relationships with our staff. A lot of times we'll get calls from different companies that are looking for a local company. And if we've met you and we have a good relationship with you and we know your services, it's going to be easier for us to be like, hey, I know this company here. Why don't you go check them out? So these are really, really beneficial to you. You are welcome, no matter what region you are in, to attend any of these networking mixers. Whether you're in Phoenix, Tucson, Northern Arizona, you can attend any of these. In the Phoenix metro area, we also have lunch mixers. These usually see about 20 to 30 businesses, and the only cost is that you paid for your own meal. We actually don't have lunch mixers in Northern Arizona or Tucson metro yet, but we will probably be looking into doing that in the next few years or so as we continue to grow. So you have your directory listing on our website and these monthly educational and networking opportunities. The third benefit you're getting out of being a member of Local First Arizona is exposure. Right up there at the top, I'm not sure if you can see it, but if you ever have any events or press releases or news-worthy things going on with your company, you can send that to editor@localfirstaz.com, and we can help you promote it. We have about 60,000 followers and growing on Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and all those other social media sites. We have newsletters that reach about 25,000 people a week, a blog that's almost read 10,000 times a month. We just have a huge, huge reach online. A lot of our businesses don't have nearly as many followers as we have, so this is a great way for you to be found in an area that people are frequently on all the time. Now, I don't want you to think you may be receiving our newsletters right now, and you may see some businesses highlighted in there. I don't want you to think that the newsletters are the best place to be to get your business out there. A lot of times our posts on Twitter and Facebook will reach more people than our actual newsletters are based off of what the tweet is about or the post is about. So I encourage you to send us anything that you're doing at any time, and we'll find the best spot for it. The other type of exposure we can give you is through 2 online campaigns that we run each year that we host ourselves. We just had one about a couple of weeks ago. It was called Independence Week. It ran from June 29th to July 6th. We hold this every year during the week of July 4th to celebrate independent businesses, and it's actually a national celebration, but we celebrate it on a local level. We were recognized. Independence Week is recognized by the Governor's Office of Arizona, and I think we had 7 or 8 city mayors sign a document stating that they recognize Independence Week as a week to celebrate independent businesses. This is where we get as many members that would like to participate to give something for 20% off. And then we produce what's called a golden coupon. This year we produced 13,000 of them and passed them around all over Arizona. And then we get people to go to all the local businesses that are offering the 20% off to give you some more exposure and to give you some more business during a month that's usually a little slower in Arizona. The second online campaign we run each year is Buy Local Month. That runs from Black Friday all the way up to the day before Christmas. And this is a special page on our Local First website where we comprise all of our members' holiday events and holiday information, any holiday specials that you have, and we put it all on a page so that people can shift their spending from national to local during the holidays when they're spending a lot of their money. Now, a lot of the times when we're out and we're talking to people, a lot of people hear Local First Arizona, and the first thing they think is, oh, I know you guys are Small Business Saturday. And very kindly I say, no, we're not Small Business Saturday. But instead of thinking about shifting your spending for one day a year, how about thinking about shifting your spending for an entire month? Or how about even an entire year? And so that's how Buy Local Month was created, to get people to think more about, hey, I can do this all the time instead of just one day a year. So that's the 2 online campaigns that we have. I just wanted to mention them to you because it's important for you as a business to participate in these things and to get involved as much as possible with us to get some more exposure for you. The third type of exposure that we give to you is in-person exposure. We have staff and volunteers that table over 100 events every year. This is where we engage with the public and interact with the public and get them to think about shopping locally. We're out at farmers markets and street festivals and business expos, talking to business owners and consumers and getting them to go to our website, feeding them into our directory, getting them to search for local businesses, to think about shopping local, and to look for your businesses on our website. In addition to all of those events that we don't host, that we table at throughout the year, we actually put on our own event called the Certified Local Fall Festival in November of every year. This year will be the 10th annual Certified Local Fall Festival. Last year we saw about 10,000 people. We had 100 vendors, beer and wine garden, food trucks, and it's just a great day for everybody to come out and celebrate local businesses. Now, although you may not participate in this event as a vendor, or anything like that, this just brings a lot of attention to the local movement. It gets people seeing our name out there. We get tons of media attention for this event, and we get more and more hits to our website from people just finding out about us and thinking about us and continuing to shift their spending to local businesses. We also have a monthly events and yearly events calendar on our website. You can go to the news and events section of our website and click on the vendor opportunities page. If you're looking to get into farmers markets or different events that are going on throughout Arizona, we have a list of all the contacts for those events, and you can contact those places and try to get in there based off of whatever you do. So you have your directory listing set up. You are attending our mixers and our seminars, and you're coming to all of our online events, and you're sending us all of your press releases and things like that, and you're getting all of that. But the very, very most important benefit that you're getting out of being a part of Local First Arizona, it's the most important one for you to understand, is that you have just joined a movement. We are not just another chamber of commerce that you've sent a check to. You're sitting back and waiting to see what you're going to get out of being a part of Local First Arizona. You've joined a movement of trying to get people to think about where their money is going after they spend it. I really, really encourage you to grasp this and start putting this into how you train your staff and how you talk to your consumers and people you work with as a local business. Thank people who purchase things from you for supporting a local business. Tell people how much more money they're putting into Arizona by supporting your business. Print on your receipts. Thank you for supporting a local business. Proud member of Local First Arizona. You will receive a sticker in the mail if you haven't already that you can put on your window if you're a brick and mortar that says proud member of Local First Arizona. Take our logo from our website, put it on your website, and link it back to ours. Make sure people are seeing Local First Arizona as much as possible. This is a national movement, much greater than Arizona, but on a local level here in Arizona, we are working very hard and doing a really, really, really great job on getting people, getting some momentum on people shifting their spending to local businesses. And we are having an impact, and you've just joined that impact that we are a part of. So moving on from that, I just want to give you guys an update on some upcoming events, regardless of what area you're in. We have lots of events going on. We have a Phoenix Evening Mixer on August 20th. That's going to be in Scottsdale at Allstate Appliances. We always have a membership one-on-one session before our Phoenix Evening Mixers. So if you have any other staff or colleagues that you would like to attend the membership one-on-one session in person, it's pretty much the exact same of what I'm doing here. It's just going to be in person, the same information. Our next Tucson Evening Mixer is August 6th from 6 to 8 at Connect Co-working in Tucson. Our Northern Arizona Mixer is August 28th at KRIM and KMOD Radio in Payson. And then we have an upcoming Phoenix seminar on July 29th at Copper Point Mutual. It's called Life Outside the Inbox, Techniques and Tools for Email Management by Margot Brown of Wave Productivity. Again, that's $8 pre-sale, $10 at the door. And then we have a Tucson seminar on July 23rd at Nova Investment, and that is on building customer loyalty by Mayor from Dual Swipe. Again, that's the same price for that seminar. Next month, we will be having a webinar, and we'll announce that one soon. For all this information, you can go to our the website link that's at the bottom of the page here, localfirstaz.com/news/events. And then you can also contact us at any time if you have any questions. So I'm going to give you a bunch of contact information here if you need to contact me or anyone in your area. I'm Thomas at localfirstaz.com. If you have any questions about your directory listing, your benefits, if you want to get more involved, if you want to be a vendor at the Local First Fall Festival, send me an email and let me know, and I can help you. If you're in Tucson, our contact there is Erica. She can be reached at Erica at localfirstaz.com, and then in Northern Arizona is Meg. If you have any general inquiries, you can email us at info@localfirstaz.com, and anyone can help you. And then if you have any press releases or events or anything like that that you would like to send to us so that we can help you promote it, you can send that to editor@localfirstaz.com, and we can help you there. So at this point, if you guys have any questions, feel free to type them into the bar on the right, and I'm happy to answer them for you. We'll just give a few minutes to do this if anybody has any questions. Alrighty, I have Camille Harmon from Tucson asking, can we submit articles? I'm thinking you're talking about submitting articles for our blog. Um, our blog is written completely internally by our staff. I'm not sure if that's exactly what you're talking about, but yeah, our staff does all of our blog writing. If you're talking about submitting articles that you've been in, you can absolutely send that stuff to us. Just send it to the editor email right there, and we can take care of you there. If I'm not completely answering your question, you can just shoot me an email afterwards, and I can more directly answer it. Brooke is asking, you mentioned linking your logo at our website. How do we do this? If you go to our main page, localfirstaz.com, and scroll all the way to the bottom, on the bottom left-hand corner, I think it's the second link from the bottom, it says Get Our Logo. And then you go to that page, and we have all of our logos in all different formats there. You can grab our logo and put it on your website there. We also have some banners and things like that you can use to put on your website. Can we submit a photo instead of a logo? Yes, you can. A lot of people who are realtors or insurance agents and things like that, their logos are their photos of themselves. So whatever photo you would like on your profile, you can definitely send that to us. Same format, just send it to me at thomas@localfirstaz.com. Alrighty, I don't see any other questions coming up. If you guys do have any questions, please email me, thomas@localfirstaz.com. Thank you guys for joining us today, and thank you for being a member of Local First Arizona. And as always, just contact us if we can do anything for you guys in your business. So you guys have a great day.